Hello people, this is my 1991 4-door E30. It's a cool car, it's real nice, it's been painted. It probably looks really good on camera, but there's some runs and stuff on it. We did some footage on this car a while ago, and it still hasn't got done, but we're gonna start getting on it again. So I thought you guys might want to watch the old footage to get caught up where we are. And if you don't know about it, stuff that might not be in the footage, this is a full e36 M3 swapped E30. So it's a 95 motor, so an S50 3-liter with a ZF trans, and then it has a built 325 LSD diff in it too. So should be a pretty cool car when it's done, and I feel like it deserves to be done. The stuff the video's on, you'll see it is we worked on turning the interior to black. I don't think the footage quite gets to this point, but there's the houndstooth in it now. We just need the front seats in, and then the houndstooth door panels are in. I've never actually owned a nice E30, and I'm not sure how I feel about E30s in terms of my ownership of them yet. So I'm gonna go all in on this one, and we're gonna see how much I like it, and this will be the deciding one.
Hopefully it's good. Everybody else likes E30s, so.
Everybody loves an E30. Enjoy watching us in the past. Welcome back to another beautiful day, legitimately beautiful day here in Denver, Colorado. Denver Beer and Oil.
We've already recorded stuff.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I'm doing things here. This is an S50. That's an M52. Yeah, things are happening. So, as you saw earlier, I was painting the carbon interior. We're letting that dry. We'll do some more coats. It's looking pretty good though. We got the engine and transmission mostly disconnected, so let's see if we missed anything. She's coming down, all is one piece.
You already pull all the bolts?
Yep. Oh, all right. So let's see what you missed. The steering's a little bound up, so we got to pry on that real quick. Big screwdriver.
Good lord, there was a lot of oil in this thing.
It's still going. You just need all that extra oil. We got the steering shaft disconnected from the column, so we should be good now. We'll kind of see how she rocks. It's definitely falling off of the thing. There we go. She fell back onto the thing. That looks like a success. She was connected to some stuff still.
Well, yeah, Chris was disconnecting all the ABS shit.
There you go. I disconnected it.
That's done.
Oh, stop.
Great motor.
You didn't disconnect the starter hot wire from the fuse box wire. You're gonna need an 8 mil. This one might be a 10. 8. So take this screw out right here. You do not want to tear that.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wash for garbage.
Beautiful.
Minty space.
What? So that was the under tray.
Huh?
The oil pan cleared the under tray and was all up in there, so the oil pan doesn't hang down.
Because of that.
I'm
super not opposed to that. As a matter of fact, I told Chris if we can find mounts that raise it to that point, we should just use those instead of the E28 mounts. It's way better because the pan actually clears like a normal.
Yeah. So
rather
you can
than being.
dump it.
Yeah, so you could put it on its ass if you wanted to. Or on its nuts or whatever those slam boys say.
Yeah.
The very first thing we're going to talk about is the oil pan, which as you can see I have removed. Now right now this car still has the E36 setup on it, which puts the sump in the rear, and for E30s that's not going to work because of the subframe. So this is an E36 pan. This is what comes on all E36 6-cylinder cars. They are rear sump pans, and in order to get this engine to fit, like I said, you need a front sump. So the E34 525i came with a front sump pan, which bolts right on. And so in order to get this engine to fit properly, what you need to do is remove your pan. You need to remove your dipstick, which I'll show you here your pickup, which I'll show you here in a second how to do. And depending on what pan you get off of what car, you may need to remove the windage tray from the E34 525 pan. As a matter of fact, if you want to come over here, I'll show you where it used to be. This is a pan that's cracked. I had already used this pan before. I'm using it for visual purposes right now, but you can see where these bosses are where the windage tray was originally riveted. So in order to get this to clear, you actually need to remove this and be very careful because the metal is very thin. So if you're drilling it, only drill through the top part of it, or just grinder it. Ask me why I know.
Ask Will why he knows that.
I may or may not have drilled through a pan. So don't be like me. Grind them off. Do not drill them off because there's a tendency or a high possibility that you will actually go through the pan. So anyway, you need to remove the windage tray.
And the reason why you need to do that is because that windage tray is in the pan, but if you go over to an E36 motor, the windage tray is attached to the motor, so you wouldn't run two windage trays. So you're not eliminating the windage tray, it's just in a different place.
That's correct. And so additionally, this right here is the oil pickup tube from the E34 525, which you will need. So if you're going to a junkyard, or if you're buying this off eBay, make 100% sure that not only do you get this, the pan, but also the dipstick tube. Most of the time, if you're doing a 24 valve swap, your dipstick will have 2 or more tubes coming into it for the oil drain from the oil separator. So in order to get around that, and in order for the dipstick to be in the right spot, you need an E34 dipstick. And I think this might actually be the stock S50 dipstick, so you can use that one as well. You just need an OBD1 dipstick. And you can see they're more or less in the same position. However, I would, in order to make sure that you've got the proper oil level indicator, make sure that you use the dipstick that matches the pan. That way you know your oil level is correct, and when you check your oil, you're not actually low or high or whatever. So anyway, in conclusion, E34 pan, E34 dipstick, I'm sorry, pickup tube, I keep saying that, an E34 dipstick. In order to get this to fit properly, what you're going to do is you're going to remove the stock pickup. You're going to put on, with a new gasket, your E34 pickup, and then the other thing you need to do is right here, you'll see this mounting tab. This actually comes off of one of the mains. You can either cut this off or bend it flat. I prefer to bend it flat so that there's no chance of getting metal shavings in the motor. I'm a little paranoid. So you can actually just, be careful, but just hit the crap out of it with a mallet, bend it flat, and the pan will clear it, no problem. Okay, so little update on our S50 swap. We were hoping to use this clutch and flywheel. We're still going to use that flywheel, but the clutch in it was absolutely smoked. This came off of another S50 we had laying around. So what we're going to do is hope that this pressure plate has the same spacing on the alignment pins, and so we're going to use this pressure plate and clutch with this flywheel. So as soon as we get that back together,
Lightness.
yeah, lightness, reviness, excellence.
UUC 8-pound single mass flywheel.
Yeah, and this was some kind of a blue Sachs fanciness, probably matched up with that. But since it's all heat scored, as you can tell,
Actually has divots in it.
yeah, we're not even going to attempt to save it because it's pretty messed up. So this is trash. Luckily, we have absolutely tons of flywheels and pressure plates laying around. So between all of our garbage in the shop, we'll find something that works. What's up? Welcome back. So just quick little update on things, visualization for what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about pounding down that bracket. I've already bent this down. I didn't feel like it was necessary to really show how to do it because literally all I did was take a hammer and hit it. But if you get it to right here, this is far enough down to work, and your pan will clear. So then the only other thing you need to do is take your pickup and bolt it right on there. So once you've got your engine looking like this with a new gasket, obviously this one doesn't have one yet, I'm not done. But as soon as your engine looks like this, you can put your pan back on. And another good thing to do if you're in here, if you guys are 24 valve swapping, and again, there's tons of information about this on the internet. Thing number one, see the slack in this chain? This one's pretty stretched out, would be good to replace. We're not gonna do it because we're kind of trying to ball on a budget here, so we think it'll be fine. Hopefully we're right about that. But if yours looks like that and you have the time and you're not in a rush, go ahead and replace it. Also, the oil pump nut, which is this little guy right here, you can tack weld it, or they sell nuts from like ECS Tuning or UUC or whatever that have lock wire on them, and that will prevent it from backing out. And so what you do is you put it on, there's lock wire through the hole, and then you put it through the little keyway here so it won't allow the nut to back off. So we are probably going to go with the tack weld technique just to keep it from backing off and make sure that we are consistently getting oil pressure when this thing is bouncing off the limiter, doing burnouts like it is inevitably going to be doing in this car.
Hope you guys enjoyed that content of us in the past. Next on this car, it ran once, but didn't run great, so we need to figure out what in the swap is not allowing it to run correctly. The coilovers are e36 Fortunatos. I think I'm going to take those off and just get a whole ground control set up for it. And then I have a Momo, an 80s Momo steering wheel for it. Get the rest of the interior in it. These are M systems. If you guys know BMW wheels, these are like E34 M5 wheels. And I have both sets of covers, the throwing stars and the turbines. So we're gonna get these wheels cleaned up and polished for it. Or I also have the set of Style 5s that you might have seen on Will's E30 M3. Those actually were off of this car. And then, yeah, we're just gonna clean her up and see what she'll do.
Think you might boost her?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We have this car up here. So there's this setup. This is an M50, which is like a 325 motor versus the M3 S50. So a 2.5 liter versus a 3 liter and less aggressive cams. But under boost, they perform pretty similar. So I really kind of like that this setup that's on here with the intercooler and everything. I just feel like this might be slightly too aggressive for how nice of a car that is. I don't know if I'll be able to get the grille and everything to fit right. So I don't know. But yeah, a boosted S50 and an E30 is pretty much the ultimate thing. It's food for thought. It could happen further down the line, but what we kind of want to do right now, if we're going to be doing this YouTube stuff, is we want to get all of our junk running, and then we can turn them all into builds slowly after that. And like always, please like, comment, subscribe. I see a lot of comments that say that we deserve more subs, and that's sick. But anything you guys can do to get our name out there and we can grow this so we can do more cool stuff and quit stressing about how we're gonna pay for it. Anyway,